Mosa, as we all know, is a character Loki has been speaking to throughout all of Elbaf, and is currently portrayed as pretty big and pretty hairy because of the snail. But what if I told you the appearance of the snail has actually nothing to do with how Mosa actually looks like? Before going further, comment down below who you think Mosa is, and you could also like if you want to. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it.
私の名は
Mosa. So far, all we know is that Mosa has experienced something they don't want to experience again. They can see past Loki's reactions and see that he really is a nice person. Mosa means hairy, which is also why Viz gave Mosa the name Shaggy. Mosa is currently experiencing something to where they can't call Loki for a while, and Loki and Mosa have never met. The snail that always talks to Loki is big and hairy, and it is a special kind of transponder snail. When we first see the snail, we get an Oda box that shows us the differences between this snail and the usual ones. And those differences are that the one Loki is using is cold resistant and has voice recognition. Voice recognition probably because Loki has to be able to speak to the snail, and cold resistance because of how hairy it is. And the reason for their size can obviously be attributed to Elbaf, because everything in Elbaf is pretty big. The hair on the snail is there because of the climate. As you know, it's in the underworld, and it would make sense if the snails evolved to the climate, and therefore need some warmth. I do not think it's Shirahoshi. In Japanese, her speech pattern is not the same, but Mosa does speak kind of gently. Because of the fur, you can't really see what Mosa looks like, but there are some hints in the story. They've experienced a tragic event. This, I think, is the death of Jarul. When Loki and Mosa start speaking about this, Loki responds to him and says that he would have killed everyone if he was there. What if he really did? Because as we know, Loki is the one that ends up killing the 103 guards. What if he really did do that, and they're actually speaking about the same event? Them never meeting, I think, could be a lot of things, but I do still think they're both on Elbaf. Another possibility, of course, is that Mosa is currently on Merijua, which would make sense with what Imu told Gunko and the Holy Knights when he took over Gunko's body. But I do think Oda is making people think that to fake them out, because I do think it's a little bit too obvious. I also don't think it's Jarul. I think it's way too obvious as well, and I don't think the timing of when he speaks to Loki works. Because as we know, he was just speaking to Loki, and I don't think Jarl will be doing that right now. This is purely what I think, but I do think it is going to end up being a woman. I think Mosa is Ida. We get a scene at the end of chapter 1153 where she wants herself and Loki to go and visit baby Loki. I think it also lines up with what they said previously about the tragic events. As we know, Ida was with Harold, so that could be her tragic event, him dying. And from what we know, she is currently still in Elbaf and is living in one of the villages, the fisherman village. And what is currently happening in Elbaf? A massive coup from Imu, which could be why she had to hurry and leave when she last talked to Loki. This would also be a way to reunite and unite Haryuden and Loki together, and that line from the end of 1153 might hint that Loki could kind of become her son. But what do you guys think? Is there anything I missed? Do you think it's someone else? Comment down below. Leave a like if you agree, leave a like if you disagree, whatever. Leave a dislike for all I care. Anyway, have a great day, have an awesome day, and bye.